Hello everyone, how are we? I hope you're all good. This is going to be the model review or reviews of the Britain's 7480 Massey Ferguson tractor and the Massey Ferguson 6600. We'll start with the 7480 first. Yeah, it's a good heavy quality machine from Britain's. Now I've had this about 2 maybe 3 years now. The oscillation in the front axles, as you can see, is good. There's good oscillation, so if you want to do a bit of rough off-roading, you can get some good poses, as well as being in the furrow rut of any ploughing that you do. It will go in quite well, it'll sit in. The only thing is with this model that I was a bit unrealistic than that about was that it had no beacons on it. So I have now added my own beacon to the front of the cab. The inside is very well laid out. It's good, nice plastic. All the levers and the steering wheel's got a Massey Ferguson symbol on it, as well as the back of the seat. It runs really well. No, no stiff wheels or nothing. The rear axle's a common axle. It's stuck together, so they both sides go around at the same time. My only thing about this hitch, the hitch at the back, it's the one that picks up and sits down. But the see, I can put my thumb on there, pull, and it just comes down on its own. So you have, if you put anything heavy on a trailer or anything like that, it will click back and fall down, so you do have to every now and again just keep putting it back up. But that's only where I've been doing my stop motion videos on that I've noticed that. It turns better to the left than it does the right, so if you're going to be doing any taking photos or any sort of stop motion stuff with it, it's better to go the left hand side. Now I found that on quite a few of the Britain's models. The only ones that I haven't had that problem with is it'll steer both ways the same. Is the Britain's 3C Mark III, the TM310S and the 3230 Fast Track. So yeah, this is the thing. I have had, now you need some good, like either a good punch and a good drill, because on the front weight you can actually remove it. It is a lot fiddly. It is, it's not a quick 2-minute job. It took me a good half hour, 3/4 of an hour. There was a rivet. If you ever get this model, it's like a rivet in the top here, on the top link. You need to drill. If you're looking, if you've got the machine in front of you like it is now, the right hand side, you need to get a drill and just drill as gently as you can, and just drill the rivet out from this side, and then get a little punch or a little pair of long nose pliers and pull this pin out, and that then gets the top link out. The top link will fall down, so unless you get a bit of blue tack or a bit of putty or something and put underneath that and paint it grey, then it'll just fall down, and it'll just fall down into there where the PTO shaft is down in there. It'll just fall to there. Same as the other side. It'll come with a rivet. You need to drill out that rivet, and then this pin, it's one big long pin that goes right the way through to the other side. You can pull that out, and then the arms will sit up as they are. There is a little bit of play in it still, as you can see, but the arms will stay up. The only arm that won't stay up will be this, so it will just fall down to the PTO, but you can take this weight out. I've replaced the pins with nails, and I have painted them. I found a match of grey, the same as this. It was like I can't remember the name of it now. I think it was like a gunmetal grey or something like that, or gun I think it was gunmetal grey. I think it was in the model shop that I had. But obviously this is one of my main sort of like tractors that I like with the weight on it, so I have sort of kept the weight on. But when I start doing my I'll start doing my silage stuff, silage stop motions, you will see this without the weight on it. So yeah, but yeah, no, like I say, you can take the front weight off of this one, so that is another thing you can do. But like I say, it's not a quick 5-minute job. You need to take time and patience, and yeah, you can. So that's one good thing with this model. Like I say, it's a good turner to the left. Oh, get this out. Let me show you. Put this here. That's there. As you can see, it'll come up to the junction. If you do a left, it will track quite nicely around. You don't need to pull or settle it in a different position. Same as this right hand one. If you're going onto a country track, it is you need to sort of slew it around. But on a road, if you're going out and you're going across to the other side, it does follow a nice path to that side of the road. So yeah, so I would say it's a very good model. Recommended. I would say definitely a good model to get. Just like I say, the rear hitch and not being any beacon on the tractor is a bit of a disappointment. But you can also, you can buy beacons off of the eBay or Amazon. You can buy many, or even in model shops you can get a reflective beacon sort of light. And then put that on. But yeah, like I say, it's just if you put anything too heavy on the back of the hitch, it will just click back down, so you need to sort of just keep an eye on it and that, and just that thing. So that's the 7480 from Britain's in 132 scale. I haven't been online. I should have gone online and looked really before I did this, but I think the last time I looked online, this was on eBay. I think it was for about £18.99. It's normally in between sort of 17 to £23. It's like I say, depending on postage and package. Some you get are a bit more expensive, but they're free postage. And some you get they're a bit less, but you've got to pay sort of like £3, £4, £5 on the postage. So they sort of work out roughly about the same price, but it's depending on, like I say, postage and packaging. So that's that. We'll now go on to the 6600. Now, I don't know why Britain's did this, but on models that I've seen online, real models, there isn't actually a 6600. You've got the 6610, which is the 100 horsepower, and then you've got the 6612, which is 120 horsepower. And they range from that all the way up. You got the 14, which is 140, 16, which is the 160, up until the 6618, which is the 180 horsepower. Now I don't know why Britain's did this, because now they've made this model, which is a really good. I'm not dissing it at all. It's got the air conditioning box on the top. It's got the satellite navigation dome. It's got beacons. The lights are really good. The exhaust pipe is awesome. The lights at the front, the mirrors, everything is really outstanding. Even the hitch is better on this than the 7480. But I can't understand why they haven't put the graphics right. At least put sort of like, even if it was just the 120 model, or even the 100 horsepower model, or even 180, or they should have just put a 66.1 something instead of the 6600, because there actually isn't well, the actual class, you know, the series is the 6600. That's the actual series. That's the branding. But the actual model liveries on the tractors are, like I say, a 66-1 something from 0 up until 8 to definize the horsepower of the actual machine. It's the 6600 series, which I don't, which I don't quite understand. But obviously, Britons have just done that. It's depending on the licensing, I suppose, from Massey Ferguson, but I don't understand. But yeah, so the other thing on this model that is really good compared to the other one is that on the inside of the wheels here, you can actually feel there's an indentation. So if you buy on this 7480, there is an indentation, but it's smaller than the actual wheel weights that you can buy online. You can actually buy black wheel weights, so if you're ploughing, you can add extra weight to the back, so you've got wheel weights that you can fit in. Now if you bought them for this, they wouldn't actually fit properly. Well, they'd fit, but they would actually stick quite far past the actual wheel. They would stick out quite far, which on some wheel weights, yes they do, but on others they actually don't. But I've noticed on this model they've actually redesigned the inner wheel now, so you can stick wheel weights on the back of this, which is what I'm thinking of getting soon, because I'm going to make this my plough. This is going to be my ploughing tractor on my Cleveland plough with the packer mat once I get it down from Ashford, because it's out in Ashford at the moment. Right, so let's get into the review. That's just the bits that I've just got to say about. So like I said, you've got really good detail on this. You've got the satellite navigation, the aircon black box, 2 beacon lights, which are just normal standard plastic, but at least you've got twin beacons on this. It's really good inside. You've got both matte, you know, everything's all colour coded and everything. So I will be back in a minute. Alright guys, sorry about that. Right, so yeah, it's really nicely detailed inside the cab. Painted black floor. The steering wheel in this moves, and the levers are all painted inside as well. The hitch, like I said earlier, is a really good example on this. I don't know why they haven't swapped this over to the other one just yet, but it still does the same thing, but it is a lot more stronger. You can put a lot of weight down on that and it won't go nowhere unless you literally lift the lever and pull it forward. Sorry about that. The front weight I have looked at, but I haven't got around to doing yet, because obviously there's a second hole on the top of the weight link there. Now they're the same thing, rivets again, so I'm assuming that you can take the weight out of the front, but the link arms at the front are a lot more different than the ones on the 7480. Now I've got a funny feeling if I took the weight out of this, as well as the top link falling down, I think, because there's a pin, you might be able to take the whole of the front arms off as well, which is, you know, a good little addition, but it'll be something that I'll have to have a look at to see how it all works, which might be a video that I will do, because obviously I've done the other one before but I haven't filmed it. Same thing again, it runs really smoothly. There's quite there's a little bit of movement in the front axle, but not as much as what was in the 7480. The plastic mud guards as well, they're good, but they do feel flimsy when you've got your thumbs on them when you're steering, so you do tend to just take it a bit careful. This has got steering good on both ways, left and right. They're both the same, so you can turn quite nicely through good angles, going into gateways, going around corners as well. So another real life imitation test. Another real life test. Oh. Come coming up to the junction. So as you can see, it runs really smoothly up to the junction. Turn and it will go. I will say though, if you do press down too hard on the mudguards going around corners, they do foul and catch onto the tyres, so you will sort of, I don't know if you can hear that, if I do it again, you can hear that vibrating on the mudguard, so you do just have to do it gently, otherwise yeah, they will foul onto the mudguard. So I'm very much pleased with this from Britain's. They've got the petrol tanks all sorted out nicely, the hydraulic tank, and they've got an AdBlue lid on the side of the stairs as well as you get in. Like I say, all the light detail is good. They've even got window wipers on the windows, so they don't move, they're just etched onto the plastic and painted black. So yeah, this is another model that I very much, like I say, like. When I last looked on eBay for these, this was around the same price as the 7480, so there's not much difference in price for them. I would say very much, if you're a Massey Ferguson fan and you like Massey Ferguson, this 660 definitely, for its different combinations that you can make, it could be a really good seeding tractor, good mowing tractor, good ploughing tractor, as well as a good carting tractor as well, any of the carts, because it pulls my flatbed trailer really well on the back. It doesn't foul on the headboard, whereas it does if you go on the left turn. It fouls on the backs of the wheels on this, but I think it's just because these, if you look, these stick further past the mudguards than on the 660. The tyres are quite flat behind the mudguards, and they're quite a bit wider quite a bit wider tyre as well. Whereas on the 7480, sorry, the tyres are quite, they go past the mudguards maybe about 3-4 mil, which is just enough in difference to foul against the headboard of my carting, of the flatbed trailer. But yeah, so what I should do is, these are a very good model, the 7480 and the 6600. I hope you like the review, and I will see you next time. Cheers guys, bye.